Hey guys, welcome back. And it seems like a new unit is going to come out for a GDI faction. It is the Orca Bomber. We're actually getting the bomber version of the Orca. What's funny though is I used to always call the Orca itself an Orca Bomber. If you have seen my videos, I would say Orca Bomber this and that. But we're actually getting the legit bomber, so it's kind of funny. Now, it would have been cool if CNC Rivals actually introduced a completely new unit instead of another Orca unit. They could have brought in the Firehawk from Command & Conquer 3. And I think the Firehawk is also like a bomber type of unit, so they're similar in a way. I could be wrong, guys. Obviously, I don't have the best knowledge sometimes with Command & Conquer games. But anyways, regardless, this is a pretty cool unit. And of course, it's going to be an anti-vehicle unit, of course. It's got about 3,000 health at level 5. Speed is fast, 120 crystal cost, so it's more on the expensive side. DPS is about 2,300. So it's going to be just like the Orca Bomber and like the Mohawk gunship, it seems. And unlocks level 43. The Orca Bomber is a unit that can devastate enemy ground units, but its smaller cousin, the Orca, it benefits. Oh, but like its smaller cousin, the Orca, it benefits from active micro and savvy positioning. Fly over an enemy ground unit to release powerful bombs. The central target takes the most damage with lesser damage affecting adjacent ground units. Be aware the bombs will damage all ground units until the damage zone, so watch out for friendly fire. Okay. And obviously this unit also reminds us of the Inferno Bomber from the Nod side as well. The way it carpet bombs, look at the way it shells the ground. It's just like an Inferno Bomber, but it carpet bombs, so it has to move across in a line. And I'm guessing the unit will take some damage. Now in this clip, I'm not really... Oh yeah, the attack bike is attacking, the buggy is attacking the Orca Bomber, so that's what's going to happen. The Orca Bomber has to go through the units, but it seems like it does a ton of damage to ground units. And I don't know if this is going to have a reloading time, because it doesn't say anything about reloading or anything like that. But it looks like it will have one of those reloading timers, just like the Orca or the Inferno Bomber, because it's holding a load. It won't have like a consistent damage, I guess, like the Mohawk gunship. So I guess it's nothing really like the Mohawk gunship. The counters: Talon, Banshee, Phantom, Hammerhead, of course. As a ground bomber, it is vulnerable to attack from all anti-aircraft. The Orca Bomber is too slow to effectively maneuver away from enemy aircraft, so have your own anti-air units such as Hammerhead or Talon to keep it alive. Sending any ground units against Orca Bomber is dangerous. The bombs can damage any ground unit within a 7 hex radius. And because, yeah, the bombs attack adjacent units, it's going to be super powerful against ground units. And in this clip, it looks like the unit is moving like at an average speed, but I guess this is what fast speed looks like. And a lot of the aircrafts are at faster and fastest, so it's going to outspeed this unit. And this with the introduction of the Orca Bomber, there's definitely going to be more importance on the helipad and the Nod Air Tower. The Nod Air Tower has already been quite important. Banshees being a staple in a lot of the Nod decks. Banshees are super versatile, and there's so many Nod decks in the higher ranks that use Inferno Bombers with Phantoms. So those decks are going to be slightly better now if we see a ton of players using the Orca Bomber. Of course, we'll have to see what happens when this unit comes out, but I mean, it looks like the Nod equivalent of the Inferno Bomber, and I'm guessing it's going to function the same way. It's going to also have a reload timer, and it's going to be super powerful against ground units. So you're going to want to use basically a GDI version of this deck. I see it being with the Hammerhead, Orca Bomber, maybe the Talon, and then you would have some vehicle units or infantry units to support it. So we're going to see kind of like the non-Inferno deck version of the GDI here with the Orca Bomber release. I'm super excited to see this unit because personally I would love to try out this unit. And yeah, this update should be coming out soon. And it's going to have pretty much the same counters as Inferno Bombers. So Inferno Bombers are weak to all these air units that can attack air, of course. And if this unit has a reload timer, it can't fire. If it's the same as the non-Inferno, I'm just gonna assume it's going to have that reload timer. Then you can also use quick moving units like attack bikes and pit bulls. While it's reloading, you can spam them and, you know, boost it up with Colonel Jackson's speed up ability or Xana, and just focus fire on this bomber, and it's gonna go down. So it's not like the ground units have an impossible chance, like as long as it has a reload timer. If it doesn't, then yes, don't use ground units. But I'm sure there are some units that can take a hit from the bomb. You know, things like the any heavy tech lab units, you know, like the Sandstorm does, I believe, take one hit from the Inferno, for example. So it should be able to take one hit from this. Now, does it say that? Oh yeah, it's built from the helipad. Okay, yeah, I didn't read that part. So it's built from the helipad, just like the Inferno. So it really is, you're not gonna need a tech lab with this build if you go with an Inferno Bomber build. Of course, you can mix the tech lab inside as well, but this is an inexpensive unit, 120 crystals. It's more expensive than the Inferno. I believe the Inferno costs only at about 100 crystals. So maybe this unit doesn't have a reload timer. Maybe it doesn't have a reload timer. It doesn't really talk about it. So in a hypothetical situation where it doesn't have a reload timer, then this unit is definitely going to just decimate ground units. Ground units are going to have a very hard time dealing with this, but I can still see things like the Sandstorm holding up against it, because the Sandstorm has a lot of health, more health than this unit, right? So there are some ground units that I can see maybe being able to hold up on this unit, but you're going to definitely need anti-air units from the helipad or air tower to deal with this thing more effectively, of course, because players that bring this unit are most likely going to bring, you know, hammerheads, phantoms, and they're gonna bring some good infantry and vehicle support. You guys can bet on that as well. So anyways, we're definitely going to see a usage in this unit as well, like the Mohawk gunship. I think the Mohawk gunship is a great unit, but this is another bonus to kind of stopping the War Factory meta. Right now, the meta is still quite War Factory heavy. Lots of players using War Factory units. And you know, things like the Cyber Wheel has only made that kind of worse, I guess, because Cyber Wheels are pretty good. They're like the War Dogs, but they do a ton of more damage to infantry units. I find, honestly, the Cyber Wheels to be more useful than the War Dogs, and it really allows not players to go for that War Factory open from the get-go. And there are so many not players using War Factory builds. And of course, GDI still has the War Dog build as well. So now with the Orca Bomber, this is going to be another threat that poses against these decks. The Inferno Bomber was already a threat, and there are Inferno Bomber decks, but you know, that unit is unlocked at level 58. So you don't see many players in the lower ranks use them. But this unit being, you know, unlocked at level 43, slightly earlier than the Inferno Bomber, we're going to see definitely more shift towards the helipad play. I think more players are going to start using the helipad, and they may have a War Factory build as well, but this unit is going to be a threat for sure. It's the Inferno Bomber that you can unlock much earlier. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about the Orca Bomber, and how effective do you guys think this unit is going to be. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.